It's the world according to Kyle podcast, everybody. TWA2K listeners, how's it going? What's good? Is it all good, or is it just as good as it gets? You don't have to answer me. I'll be doing this a lot, asking you questions in order for me to answer them as they pertain to myself. So, how was your weekend going? Mine? It's been going the same as the past 52 weeks prior, pretty much, since the whole COVID shenanigans started. My weekends are very similar, weekend in and weekend out. Basically, exactly the same. One thing that I learned about myself is that, I won't have any problems with drinking. I don't think that I have any fear of sliding into alcoholism, let's just say. I've discovered that I am completely and utterly a social drinker, that getting smashed is something I do while I'm around groups of people. It's not something I just want to sit and dwell in despair and loneliness and boredom. So that's good to know, I guess. I won't have to, one thing I won't have to worry about sliding into addiction with, because drinking can be quite the expense if you're a functioning alcoholic, basically, and needing to get that buzz. I, on the other hand, no desire to get drunk unless it's trying to loosen up in front of a crowd, or at a bar, or with somebody you're hanging out with, all things which I am not doing at the moment. Then I just don't see any real point in it. So it's less the desire to drink that it is the wanting to enhance the environment and get the feeling at a certain point in time when the circumstances are correct. I love doing karaoke, by the way. Karaoke is my thing. Whenever I don't even need to be around people or hanging out or like with anybody, just go and hop around to a few bars that are doing some karaoke, wail it out a couple times while you're in the middle of your bar hop. I always find that's pretty good. But I guess this weekend was a little bit different in the sense that I did see a live concert. Well, it wasn't live, but it was the first time it had aired from a band called Portugal the Man. They had streamed to YouTube this session they did in December of 2008 after they released their first 3 albums, which was really cool. It was just a live jam session of them doing their early material. And as much as I rail on music that is bad, modern music that is bad, which there is a lot of, I will give credit where credit is due. And Portugal the Man, they're just one of those bands that perfectly integrate lyrics, instrumentals. They sound modern without giving up like the good things about like strumming away on a guitar or having like a sick instrumental solo, or wailing away on the microphone and using metaphors that it's just as much as like we don't have those sort of like really top end high produced good quality music. If you do your digging, you can definitely find some stuff that's comparable, if not better, and really shows the advancement that music has undergone in the past little while. So that was great to watch the Portugal the Man organ sessions. If you're a fan of theirs, I definitely recommend checking it out. It was quite a good session, and I was watching it when they did it live. I can't wait for them to come to Toronto again. A little bit of a bittersweet time the last time that I ended up seeing them. It was I heard they were playing at a festival, and the festival was in downtown Toronto, and I'm just like, oh, sick, Portugal the Man, they're they're gonna be there. I was like, I better go. So got my tickets, but there's like a ton of other bands there. So I figured out when Portugal the Man was coming on stage, and made sure I had a good view of the stage. Was close enough to get in any pits if a pit pops off. No, but Portugal the Man's really not the type of mosh pity type of band. They're more spiritual, psychedelic, rock with electronic and alternative. They're a really nice blend of all of those things. They're a nice mashup of all of those things with just incredible lyrics to serve as like a backdrop. I know everybody has only heard them for their Feel It Still, the 1986 song, but they have 5 albums of mostly packed with great songs all the way before the newest album Woodstock came out. So yeah, I was at this speaking back to the concert that I was at, the festival I was at, sorry. So Portugal the Man was playing third last, and they only were given half an hour, so they had to be off the stage after 35 minutes. They were calling them off the stage, and nobody wanted them off the stage. They were just crushing it. And after that, the next 2 bands that were on next, no offense, they were not even close to as great as Portugal the Man was. One of them was Breaking Benjamin, and one of them was Tribe Called Red. Okay, they have a couple good songs each, but they just have a couple hits. That's it. Portugal the Man could have played out there for 2.5 hours. They just however they decided to organize the who was playing and the way the time was spaced out was just incredibly foolish, in my opinion. So basically, I paid $100 to watch Portugal the Man play live for half an hour. Gee, thanks. And that was it. After that, you can't, for me anyway, you can't top seeing Portugal the Man. I just had to fucking, I had to take myself out of the situation. And I'm just what am I gonna do? Just watch such a amazing band, and then I'm gonna rock out to Breaking Benjamin after? No thanks. And no offense to Breaking Benjamin or Breaking Benjamin fans, that's just how I feel, yo. But I'm a little bit of a different variety. I'm a little bit of a generational tweener. I was born in '86, and I feel I'm at the tail end of Gen X and the tail beginning of millennials. So it's I'm kind of stuck in the middle here. I see the good in both sides, and I'm not completely one or the other. There's a lot of things that I can't stand about both of them. But I feel around that time, the Babies 87, 86, there was kind of some kind of cultural change where a lot of the kids like started getting into like hip hop was more mainstream and was like viewed as like the default like mainstream music to listen to, and it just kind of took over, where there wasn't that insurgence of like good modern rock and stuff that really spoke to younger kids the way that Gen X in grunge and metal and like Metallica and stuff like that, how that happened. I don't think there was anything like that, and it was kind of like a changing of the guard, and that's kind of when millennial culture came into being, I think. So it's kind of weird being on both sides of the equation, but that's kind of what I'm used to. I mean, like, I've always been the type of person where I was always too jockey for the nerds and too nerdy for the jocks. Like I was always kind of a tweener in that sense, where it's like you could wax poetic about technology, but you also see the value of like pumping iron and running fast and in playing sports and stuff like that. Ultimately, I think you have to kind of be more one or more the other, but I'm having fun straddling the line right now, and sometimes a little more one, and sometimes a little more the other, depending on whether the situation dictates it or not. I think ideally I would like to be a little more in kind of my workout jock mode, but the situation is kind of preventing me from doing so and partaking in the physical activities that I'm normally used to. So that kind of sucks, but it was an opportunity for me to, sharpen my swords in the abstract, and allow me to kind of map out trying to get podcasts out, which I am doing right now. As promised, my second podcast. So this is number 2. I enjoy everybody who's here for the early early stages of TWA2K. So congratulations. You're really buying the dip right now. you're buying the dip right now. Where I understand that my quality of my podcast isn't going to be up there right away, but I do listen back, and I'm getting into the process of learning how to master and learning how to fine-tune all the aspects of a podcast to make it better, and I'm going to keep growing at that week after week. The last one I just kind of wanted to get out there, because the Super Bowl was happening, and a lot of it was talking about the Super Bowl in the sports section anyways. By the way, stay tuned. TWA2K Sports is coming up after the regular The World According to Kyle episode. So yeah, the Super Bowl is coming up, and a lot of it was Super Bowl oriented content. So I wanted to make sure that I got that out there, and that it was a bit choppy. I could have edited it better, but I'm learning on the fly. I don't have a Jamie yet. How many subscribers? Someone comment below. Do you know it will take for me to be able to afford my own Jamie? That would be that would be really nice. Or who knows? Maybe I'll just become my own Jamie and not have to worry about any of the doling out some coin to pay out to somebody. But yeah, we're gonna get there, guys. hang on tight. We are gonna get there. We're gonna get videos. We're gonna get backdrops. We're gonna get all that. Okay, just let's just deal with the choppiness for a little while. I mean, like, so don't nitpick too much at the start, but I'm doing 12 episodes this year. I think by the time next year I want to do 2 episodes per month. Again, realistic goals, setting rates that I should be able to hit, and taking the time to analyze like how it's going while I'm doing it. So yeah, by the time I'm ready to rock on 2 episodes per month, I think I should have I'll be better at speaking and coming up with topics, and having sections and things that we can go after. But yeah, it'll be all a work in progress. I do have a really good camera, so I can start doing this, having a video form of this. I know, like, I follow a lot of podcasts, and a lot of times people will complain about not having the video format, which, I mean, that's never been a factor for me in determining whether or not I end up listening to a podcast. Like, if they have a video, good, that's all right, but like, I can always like open up another window, and if you need to see some visuals, just have some visual like stuff like going by. Like, it's not that big of a deal for me. It's never been a deciding factor in whether or not I am listening to a podcast. And I know some people might be a little more particular, but I guess that's a choice you make. You can either have somebody who's speaking well about all the things around you, or you want to listen to some super produced podcast with some weeb telling you what his favorite manga is. Then go for that. If you need the visual stimulation, then go for that. Just let you guys know that we're gonna get there eventually, but we actually have things to talk about in the meantime. We have a insane world that we're living in right now, and I don't know if we're going to get out of it as soon as we think. I think there's a lot of optimism for us getting back to normal, and I don't want to say it's not possible, but as of right now, I do not see the collective mental framework in mind that for this to be able to work really at the dates that we're expecting it. I do not think so. I think that there's a little too much optimism going around about how the vaccine rollout will go. And I know a lot of people who straight up will not take a vaccine. Okay? So those are people that I know that just will not do it. How many of those people are there? I don't know. How many of those people's minds are going to change? How long will that take to get through the system? I think by saying that this is just straight up going to be that we should have life back to normal in September of this year maybe is a bit more of a long shot than I think we're willing to admit at the time. And the one thing that I don't get, though, is like the vaccine skepticism. Like, me personally, I would rather prefer to have the mRNA vaccines by Pfizer and what's the other one? I think AstraZeneca does theirs also, and Moderna. So definitely I would prefer to have that, but I mean, if there's no side effects, and we're gonna get this out of the population and have the economy running back to normal soon, like here's a one group of people that if you have, like they said they had adverse side effects for the vaccine, if it would people with severe allergies. So that's one group of people that I think, like, maybe you would want to be a little more hesitant to get it. And maybe if we don't need people with severe allergies to get vaccinated, if we can get this through the system without getting those people vaccinated and putting those people at risk for a negative reaction to the vaccine, if we could do that without doing that, then that's fine. That just decreases the probability of death as a result of the vaccines. But like, I think like the skepticism, like especially about the mRNA ones, is unwarranted. It just like you aren't actually getting the virus inside of you. What it's doing is it's creating a protein that mimics the structure of the virus, and your body's immune system learns to recognize it, and your cells attack it, and just your body's immune system becomes more resistant to structures that look the way the same virus, that operate the way the virus does. So for the skepticism, like I understand that it's there and you have your own free will, and I'm not even saying that you shouldn't decline it, because I can't know what's best for you. But I just think that we're just being a little optimistic on the time frames that it's going to take. I think maybe it won't take till, I think maybe 2022 will, by the time summer 2022 rolls around, we will be all right. And that's my prediction. I hope that I'm wrong. Please let me be wrong. Let me be wrong about this. But yeah, to say that it's just like, okay, everything's just gonna open up fucking by then. So if things are if you're really hinging on things being close to normal by then, I wouldn't. But if I had a business, I would have definitely sold it all a long ass time ago. So yeah, but I mean, I can hope. I'm hoping that people will do the right thing, and that this can be over with a little sooner. Because, in my own selfish interests, Tame Impala is coming and doing a concert in Toronto in October, so I have tickets from their last canceled concert. So if I could see that, hey, I would be ecstatic. But I'm definitely not counting on it. That's for sure. So, you know what? Watching old Simpsons episodes is making me feel kind of dumb. Because, like, I understand that I was young when these were happening, like, 1994, like I must have been like 7 or 8 then, but like you're watching it now and you're watching episodes that were on like in that time, and you're just like, damn, these were really great. Like, why did I not like the Simpsons more? But I don't know. I just watch them now, and I like all the jokes are like, wow, they're very even relevant for today. But I guess Simpsons just kind of Simpsons didn't develop at the right time with me, and then it started kind of looking old when I started to grow up. So then, like, it kind of transitioned to South Park at that time. So, but yeah, here's another thought I have on kind of TV entertainment. It's like we need to make sure that sci-fi movies are set, quote, at some point in the future, are setting it really far ahead so that we stop looking so stupid. There's 2001 A Space Odyssey and 2047 Blade Runner, and the futures that they depict are not even anywhere close to what they thought they would be at the time. I don't know if they was supposed to be like a interpretation of what you think the future would be like, but I say just add 500 years onto it just to be safe. Like the times pass from these movies, and then you kind of like are watching 2001 A Space Odyssey. You're like, fuck, we're nowhere near that. And it's honestly depressing. It makes it even more depressing than it should be, seeing like the years that are just so fucking out of whack, and it's just like, we could be here right now, but we're not. And then it just add 500 years just in case. If you're gonna say we're in the year 3000, say it's 3500. We're looking way too dumb at this point. Humanity is looking like way too dumb. We are like eons behind where these movies thought we had the potential to be. We're nowhere even close, and it just looks awful at this point. So to all you movie creators, in the near future, just as a rule of thumb, just slap 500 years onto that baby. Okay? Just do it for me. Another thing about movies is that, though I do like these movies, the concept of what is happening in them is completely dumb. And I don't want to say that I like all of the movies about it, but I do find, generally speaking, that they provide better movie experience than most. And that's the concept of zombies. Now, zombies as a concept are stupid for the following reason. It's that the zombie eats the people. Like, they crave eating people and brains, but when they come back to life, somehow they only have a couple scrapes on them. Well, what happens, honestly? Like, a zombie all of a sudden, it just stops wanting to cannibalize the person, and then after that it just stops eating them, and then you get whatever you have left, or it just makes no sense, because the concept of zombies is that they just crave flesh. They don't crave, like, after they infect you, then they stop becoming like they stop wanting to, like, eat you. It's just kind of silly if you think about it, unless it's like some virus. But what attracts them to you is the concept of them eating you, right? Because they want brains, they're hungry, right? But they just eat you. They just take a little. They chew a little. So they get a little chew. And then they're done. And then you become the zombies. Like, no, they have hordes of zombies, especially in these new movies, that are just tearing the fuck out of the person, and then all of a sudden that person, the pieces the scrapes of them come back together, and like. I don't think anybody has addressed that, really, and the concept, after thinking about it, kind of makes zombie movies seem a little ridiculous. But it's like any movie; if it's done well, it's done well, and I'll watch it. But most things are not done well. Me personally, I was not a fan of The Walking Dead. I call it a zombie soap opera. because there's it's just soap opera drama happening inside of like a zombie movie. And by the way, okay, what the fuck type of show has a boomer named Negan and a guy who is like 5 years old named Carl? Like, that alone is just like boggles my mind when I'm watching it. It's like that should be the reverse, pretty much. And yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's okay if you just like to watch things and pass the time and stuff like that. No, not hating on it for that, but something needs to be really captivating and great for me to be able to just sit down and watch it. Like, think about the life you're wasting just fucking watching shit. Like, watching people pretend to do other shit. Like, it's a lot. And especially if we're talking about binge watching a TV series with like close to 10 seasons, like, fuck, we'll say 5 hours per season. Like, come on, like we're you're getting like what, like 25 to 50 hours of just spending time just getting visually stimulated. It has to really be something that's captivating for me to really get into it and watch it. That's why often I don't watch movies in the theater. I hate going to a movie theater and paying that sort of money to watch a movie that you don't know if it sucks or not, and it sucks. So I need to see a lot of good reviews, and like not just a lot of people liked it, but like some really in-depth like shit that really makes me think that, like, okay, this is a good movie to see, because I'm done with that. I'm done wasting money watching crap to get like visually stimulated. There's so many other better things that you could be doing with your time, like learning a skill, or learning a trade, or exercising, like reading, studying some university subjects, like anything. Like, you can be doing that, or you can be just mindless entertainment. And not to say that, not to hate on anything that falls into the category I'm disparaging right now, but that's just me. That's how I'm wired. That's I'm a different, I'll say, from other people, but that's just how I do. So yeah, take it with a grain of salt. You do you. That being said, I really what movie I really wanted to see that seen a preview for was the Coming to America 2 sequel. It's finally a movie that will make me feel proud about pretending to be black. Eddie Murphy was a shit, though. I mean, you can't really hate on that. Eddie Murphy just tore it up. Like, he tore it up so much that they needed 4 Kings of Comedy just to equal what he did in Raw. And Delirious was fucking fantastic. You knew, like, Eddie was about to tear it up in Delirious. Eddie comes out fucking wearing like that red leather walking around. Like, he knew he was just about to fucking wreck shit. Like, it's like, oh man, like Eddie in Delirious, man. Like, it's hard to watch comedy nowadays because, like, the comedy that we had back then, like, fucking Dice Clay, fucking Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, Bill Hicks, Sam Kinison, like, you're not competing with that now. Like, you just can't, like, man, like, just it's not happening. We're not producing comedy at that level. Everybody has to be too PC and worry about exactly not offending which groups they are winning the offended popularity contest. And you just have to, like, that's not a way to produce great comedy. That's not an environment in which you can produce great comedy. Even if you're trashing the powers that be, and even if you're trashing the PC culture, because you have to come at it with from a certain angle of respect for it now, because it can completely ruin your career, as we have seen in many cases. So it's not like you can just like pretend that it isn't there. You have to acknowledge that it is there, and you just can't disparage it, or it forces you to give it respect if you're trying to disparage it in such a way that it just anytime comedy is under more ideological or intellectual restrictions, it can never be as good as comedy that's more free to say whatever it wants. And that's just the truth of the matter. That's something we can't avoid, right? So hopefully things start to change, but it doesn't seem like it in at least in the near future. Maybe hopefully long term it might be a little bit better, but yeah, we'll see. All I know is that the comedy back then is that's got a leg up on us right now. That's definitely beating us. If if we're keeping score, that's one for the 80s, I guess. Now, I am a pot smoker, like I said before, like how about my drinking and about not being addicted to drinking. I think pot is a bit different, and that I think pot is getting a bad rap, but I kind of understand why. Like, for me, I can smoke and not have it like cripple me, and just have it like almost like a stimulant of sorts. Like it makes me anticipate doing things. Like it's like where you're kind of getting grogged down by the minutia of the day and of the boredom of day-to-day life. It makes just doing those things seem a little bit like less boring than they would normally be for me, I guess. Like doing things that you're just like in such a trance in, and doing things that you're that you're so like used to doing, and like kind of finding finding it entertaining, and finding it more stimulating, doing those activities that you do all the time and are normally bored by. I find that pot can help enhance those things and make you feel less bogged down by what's going on. Now, the issue with pot is where people are using it and they let it kind of take over them. Like, if I have things that I want to do with my life, and pot is preventing me from doing those things, then that's an issue. then that's a problem, and that's something that that I'd have to look at. And I understand that, like, my way of doing things is different than most. Like, most people allow things to control them a little bit more. I just kind of view it as like pot for me. It just enhances the things that I'm doing. I don't go too overboard when I'm spending on it. If I don't get it for a day or two, that's fine too. Like, it's not like the be all end all, like I need to have it. And I know some people where they are functioning potheads, so to speak, and it's just like any other addiction. And like, a guy comes home to his kids and wife driving him crazy, and takes, he uses smokes half a joint, like, despite the fact that maybe he's addicted to it. Is that really bad? Like, it's definitely better than getting drunk. But just because it is better than getting drunk, it does not necessarily mean that it's good for you, or that you're living a productive life, or that or that you wouldn't be better if you just fucking put the joint down for a little bit, and seeing kind of what you would do outside of it, and do that. That's what I suggest for anybody. Now, I know withdrawal in physical addiction and being physically addicted to something can be hard, but I think it's good to let things not have control over you. And for anybody who feels like maybe they're stuck in that sort of rut, or that they may be they might not be living up to their potential, I would give that a try. If you're smoking pot all the time, just give it up for a month. By the time that month is done, you'll get a lot more high, and then you won't have to spend as much on weed and shit. So that's a benefit. And then you'll just kind of see the things you're doing while you're not high, and where your mind is going to, and the types of things that you're into while you're not smoking. And then if these are vastly different from the things that you're doing while you are smoking, then maybe I would look into cutting back. But for me, it's like you grew up with the Pumping Iron with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You ever watch the Pumping Iron? Like, he would smoke joints before and after workouts and stuff like that. And it's just to each your own. Everybody processes this stuff differently, and everybody has a different body and different quirks about it. And I just find that for me, that it doesn't dramatically affect what I do on a day-to-day basis, and been with it. But I think that's might be more in the framework of the fact that addiction doesn't seem to be that I don't get addicted to things the way that I know my friends in the past have like physical addictions to things. And it's not good. It's not good for anybody to have that. But I tend to think that a lot of times it's probably more choice than people would like to admit, or they would say it's an addiction, but it is a choice type of thing. And I'm all for trying to do things, find it inside of yourself to do the things you have to do before going to an alternative. Or getting some help in a certain area. Now, there's no shame and there's nothing wrong with it, but it's always best to know that you have control over yourself, that your body is your temple, and that you have that shit on lock, so to speak. But yeah, no, not trying to hate on anybody. I got lots of friends that are like that, and you know, for them it's cool, and you know, I would never disparage anybody for needing something to get them through life, because life is hard. It is very hard, and we often think too much like people can be supermen and superwomen. Let's just focus on just being good people. How about that? And then if you want to be Superman or try and be Superman, then go for it. Have fun. Oh yeah. All right, so let's do a quick story here. This was must have been like over a month ago. You know, like these delivery services, right? I'm not gonna mention which one, but had an experience with one that definitely made me quit it, and I haven't really been back since. Okay, so I was ordering something from a restaurant that was 7 minutes away. Okay, so it was a fast food place. Not gonna lie, I'm not proud of it, but I wanted a cheap fast food meal. I was hankering for I was hankering for some greasy eatings. So I book online at this delivery company. I booked what I wanted to eat. All right, so they tagged the driver, and the driver said 23 minutes to the restaurant. Okay, it's fine. So the driver goes, and he ends up at the restaurant. So the countdown says he's seven minutes away from reaching me. Okay, so I'm ready for him. It looks like he's in the drive-thru or something, because it's kind of slowed down at the place. So I'm waiting for him, and then instead of going south towards my place, he goes west. He starts going west, and then the time keeps going up instead of down. It goes like up. It's like 11, 12, 13, fucking all the way to 23 minutes. That's how far out east he's driving. That's 23 minutes out in the exact wrong direction after he just fucking was at my store. So I go back. He comes back to the restaurant that my order was at, and then it says again 7 minutes. So he comes back towards 7 minute drive down towards me, and gives me my fast food. And by that time, it was just being lukewarm was over exaggeration. It wasn't cold, but because they keep it heated. But I mean, like, I'm ordering fast food. That's not something, and you have to tip the driver ahead of time. So I don't know what kind of service I'm getting. Why do you have to tip the driver ahead of time? You tip the driver ahead of time before you. So I just gave him a good tip for him to drive fucking 5 kilometers out in the wrong direction and then come back and then give me my fast food that he could have just dropped off right then and there. Are you fucking kidding me? So, needless to say, that got a down rating, and I wasn't too happy about that. And then a fucking a week later, I was ordering through a different delivery service. This time, I had an order. The driver came through, everything, drops it off. Okay, I go and pick it up, and I notice that something is missing. So I had the thing opened, and I had the app open from when the driver left, and I do not close it until after I have reviewed everything and make sure everything is there and in its and then that I didn't get gypped on my meal, basically, before I close any windows. So I look inside my bag and it's like, oh wait, something's missing. So I go and I report that they have a little question mark box. This is from a different delivery company, by the way. 2 different delivery companies. Okay, this is the second one. So the delivery company has this question box, and I click it after says your order has arrived. So I click it. It's like, what was there an issue with your order? Yes. Something missing. There's an item missing. Yes. And it asked me what was missing from your order. I clicked on what was missing. Then it said they would text me a code to apply the discount for the item that it did not give me. All right, so I get the text. Good. Plug it into the system, hit enter, and it's loading, and I'm like, good, okay, that's it, I'm done. It's on. It should be on. I watch some YouTube videos, and pass out, and shut everything down. So the next week was when I use that delivery service next. And so I go to use a delivery service, and there's no discount that's being applied to my order. I try to text somebody in the chat box, and I say, "Hey, where's my discount?" And they say, "Oh, hey, here." They send me an email saying, "Call this number with this ticket number for your complaint, your order." So I go and I use that, and I get on board with get on the line with customer service, and then I'm just like, oh, hey, so I don't have a discount right now, and it said it was giving me a discount because I reported an item missing, and she says, so when did you do it? A week ago. It's like, well, why didn't you figure? I did all the steps that they told me to do in order to receive it, and how was that not recorded? And it's like, oh, well, she asks, like, oh, well, did you take a picture of it or something? So what, am I supposed to fucking, like, go and videotape, like, every little interaction I have online just to have some video evidence that it did actually go through? I got a text from your system saying that to enter this into the app in order to get the discount applied. She's like, oh, well, I can't do anything with that. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? This is how you operate your customer service business? I'm not even trying to rip you off. I'm just trying to get what I rightfully deserve because a fucking item didn't show up last time. So this is what you deal with delivery services now, and needless to say, I'm not too happy about it. I'm not too happy about it at all. If we're sitting here pretending like technology is advancing things, like I don't know. That doesn't seem like an advancement for what you pay. Like, it's, especially during the pandemic, it's convenient to pay for these delivery services, so you don't have to go inside of a bus, and and the thing is, I do tip well. I'm a good tipper. Like, I feel like did you guys see that video online where there was this Canadian kid with he had like the bull tattoo piercing tweeners, like septum or whatever, like the ones that like you see on like the bull, like the area of the nose that the bull has it through. So he had one of those things. I don't know if you've seen it, but he was like complaining like he didn't get enough of a tip to cover the fee that he had to pay to get inside of the guy's condo area or whatever. Like they made him pay a fee to like access the parking facilities where the guy was located. So he basically had to pay fucking $2 and didn't even get a tip from the guy. This is ridiculous, okay? Canadians are shitty tippers, okay? And I semi-understand it, but I don't. I mean, the government restricts what we are able to make, yes. And the government provides a lot of social safety nets, yes. But, like, these are jobs that people need to do. They are jobs that we need to have. They are essential for our daily survival. Okay, and the thing is, I don't understand why people don't tip at fast foods either. Like, I feel like people, like, sometimes when I'll tip at a fast food restaurant, they'll look at me like what are you doing? But it's just like, okay, why is it deemed that a server at the keg gets like a $20 tip for a meal for two, but a person working at McDonald's shouldn't get $1, like comparatively, $2 tip for producing the same percentage of a tip based on the amount that the meal is? Why shouldn't a McDonald's worker? Why is that looked down upon? It's still someone preparing your food for you. I think the way it's set up is good. Is that you should tip higher for more expensive meals because less people eat those meals, and it's more of a fine dining experience and not a casual eating experience, right? And for a casual, you tip less, but they should get a tip from everyone. Like Tim Hortons coffee servers, if serving out that hot coffee. If everyone gave them, like, if you just got a coffee and got 25 cents minimum, okay, you should at least give them that. Give them a quarter. Because like, you know, if you don't like it, well, fucking make your own coffee. Make your own fucking burger and bring it into work. It's someone that's preparing your food for you. And I don't know why it's deemed that the keg is you have to tip, and at McDonald's it's optional, or at Tim Hortons it's optional. Now, this is something that I think that we should consider. Like, you know, I just think, like, you know, that if you do not like tipping, then why don't you just do it at home? If you don't like, why do you pay so much for a beer when you go to the bar? It's convenient. It's like convenience and a respect fee. So, you know, here, please don't fucking spit in my shit. Like, at the very least, I think, like, it shouldn't be like you shouldn't have to give a Tim Hortons worker like fucking $20. No, like fucking $10. No. But they're preparing a coffee. I want a hot cup. Like, I don't want to just. People need to be incentivized to do good work. It's part of a deeper problem, and it's part of a Canadian way of being that needs to be fixed. Because, you know, when you go to the States and you have a wad of $1 bills, you tip people and you treat people good, and then they treat you good, and then that's how it incentivizes good behavior. The number one reason why I'm not working in the casino industry right now is because in Canada, at all the places where you go, you have to share your tips. And why should I have to share my tips with somebody who's not doing as good a job as me? End of story. Like, that's stupid, and that's the number one reason why, like, I love to deal poker, and dealing poker is my thing. I even thought about going to Vegas to try and get a job doing that there, because it's financially, when you're making the money that you should and you're getting paid and you're keeping your own tips, it is very financially lucrative. I don't understand why that, but it's because the government controls the bureaucrats. They control how casinos operate. It's not the it's not the people who actually own the casinos, because I'm sure they understand that, you know, you get what you pay for, and you're gonna, and a better dealer is gonna pump out more hands per hour. He's gonna attract better crowds there because he's they're having a better time because they're seeing more hands, and it's just, you know, it just creates a good cycle. It creates a positive feedback loop that and to just mute everything. What is the point of trying if somebody who's not trying is getting paid the same as somebody who is trying? And there's a way you can use the tips that people give to financially incentivize otherwise. Then what are you doing? So that's the number one reason why I'm not in that industry, for sure, because I loved doing what I was doing there. I loved the game of poker, but hey, it didn't work out, and now I wouldn't be doing this podcast right now if that wasn't the case. So, you know, you just kind of roll with what life gives you. You know, don't try and fight it. Don't try and be so stubborn where you're not willing to move if something else is providing you a better opportunity. You know, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you realize that basket is cracked when you're inside of it, and you have a long trot back to the village, you're gonna want to have your eggs in a better basket. That's all I'm saying. And if it's any piece of advice that I would give to our younger listeners, it's to have many things that you can pivot to, because you know, so much relies on things that are out of our control, and you know, getting knee deep into the environments of these things you can do for a living. Getting knee deep into them is where you're gonna find out if it's better for you in the long term or not. So that's always something you gotta keep in mind, is that it ain't always what it seems. And truly the only way to get a feel for something is to do it. And already I could say about podcasting that this is going much better than a lot of the other things. I like the freedom and the control that I have, and I don't feel like I have to appease an audience or a bar owner or a club or a host or anybody. I feel free to just do my own thing. So a lot of times, even me getting this knee deep into something, there's a lot of red flags which would be coming up. But for me right now, that isn't happening, and I feel good. I feel good about doing this. So that's it for now. That's a standard TWA2K episode number 2. Overall, we're going to have a sports report after I come back from a quick break. So if you're interested in the sports report, then stick around. eventually I'm going to have that off on, have that as a separate post. But I think for now, it kind of works all right doing it in the 2 segments. So at least for the meantime, I'm gonna keep it that way. So if you're just here for the regular TWA2K, then see you. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you next month. Over and out. All right, it's a TWA2K Sports Report. All right, everybody, here to wax poetic about the sports topics that are hot right now. Truth be told, it's a rather dead time for sports, as we have the middle of the NBA and the middle of the NHL seasons, and it couldn't be more pointless. There's way too many games in both the NBA and NHL that it renders basically everything up until like the last couple weeks absolutely pointless. And I guess there's something to be said about making each game meaningful, and that the schedules in both hockey and basketball are rendered meaningless by having so many different games that you need to play. Like you do not need to play 82 games to figure out which is the best team to be the number 1 through 8 seeds in both conferences. And I know that that opinion will be muddled heavily, because it would reduce the amount of advertising revenue and revenue from the stations broadcasting the sporting events. And I know it's kind of a out there take to have, but it also happens to be true. The beauty of the NFL is that they only have 16 games, and you can't take a single game off. You can't just chill. It's now or never, and literally every single game matters and is meaningful for something. Even the last game of the regular season for like the Philadelphia Eagles, even the fact that the thing that was so upsetting about it, what Peterson did there, was that he could have tried to win and figured out a lot about Jalen Hurts in just that one game, and see how he is reacting and responding. Washington is an elite defense, and for him to go up against them and figure out what he's all about, like, is something that's important. It's important to figure out, and you just wasted an opportunity to figure out who Jalen Hurts is and how he reacts in very pivotal and meaningful situations. And that was the most egregious part about what Peterson chose to do on that day. Like, is moving up a couple spots in the draft really worth seeing if Hurts is your guy or not. Like, that's or at least giving him one opportunity to shine and give you a reason. Now you just benched him. Okay, let's play it out like this. Let's say he goes and beats the football team in a convincing way that makes you think this kid can ball under pressure. So you figure that out, and you don't need to go get a quarterback right now. Right now, now you don't know. Now you don't know if you don't need to go get a quarterback or not. If you don't need to spend that high draft capital on a quarterback or not. And you could have figured out, but you didn't. And all of that was what happened with Philly was a symptom of whiffing on their past 3 years draft picks. absolute fucking whiffing on their draft picks, and they wouldn't have needed to care so much about moving up a couple spots in the draft if they had actually had better drafting results, and that could have avoided. But just because you could have drafted better doesn't mean you should do what you did and tank and not figure out what Jalen Hurts is capable of, and it's just a wrong move. It's trying to overcompensate for prior mistakes, and I do not think it was the right thing to do. All right, so I want to take a quick huddle here. Let's huddle around. Huddle. Okay. All right, guys. When you say it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good, I don't get it. Is fame supposed to be synonymous with great? Even people, while they're saying it, they stutter and they barely can get it out because they're wait, what's the fun? I was like, it's the Hall of Fame. It's like not the Hall of Very Good. You're saying it like fame is synonymous with greatness. Fame is not synonymous with greatness, as we can clearly see by a quick perusal of the Billboard top charts. And definitely the things that are the most famous are not necessarily great, and usually it's the complete opposite. So that's a quick huddle up. I'm huddling with all you sports broadcasters and commentators. So stop saying it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. If you're gonna say something that's kind of cutesy, fucking phrasey, here's what you say. You say it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Tame, right? Because that actually works. It actually makes sense within the context of what you're trying to say. You basically, the phrase "it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good," basically disproves itself inside of the saying. So please, you guys need to stop saying this. It makes jocks look more stupid than they need to be. And this is something to review since our last podcast, our last sports report. I'm 4 figures richer thanks to Sir Tom Brady and his relentless pursuit at greatness. Pretty happy with the results of that. I didn't end up hedging, so I was even more happy with that. And even what I said about the match kind of played out according to what I felt. I felt like Tampa's D-line would be able to get the needed pressure against Mahomes, and their defense would step up, and Brady will do Brady-like things, and I felt good about that. I felt good about not taking the hedge, about as good as you could possibly feel about not taking a hedge, and besides that, the value wasn't really there for the hedge anyways. But there's been times where the value hasn't been there, but I took the hedge, like the Atlanta Falcons. Again, I had them at 20-1 again, but I ended up hedging that time because, you're up against fucking Tom Brady. Now, the thing, I don't want to wax poetic too much about Brady. Everything that I can say will already have been said about him and what he's done. But and I did a little bit in that prior episode. But there's one thing that I think many people are overlooking, and that's the following: is that Brady helps his team by not over demanding money, and I think he would go to if all the cards are on the table, I think Brady would take less money to go to a better situation. Excuse me. He would take less money to go to a better situation, and he would be willing to do that more than any other person. And the realistic expectations he has for himself, and is just outstanding. And that's going to be an underlooked thing, where all these quarterbacks are signing these super huge deals. Well, that's coming at an expense. Like, even like you noticed with Mahomes, like, okay, a lot of that was they weren't healthy at the time, but it's a lot of money to spend on a quarterback. And like Brady's taking discounts and winning fucking Lombardis. Okay? And so if you're Rodgers and Wilson, you need to take note about this, cuz say you hack $10 million a year off of your contract, which is already huge, like $35 million, $40 million, hack $10 million off that. With that $10 million, you can get a guy like $10 million a year is Shaq Lawson. $10 million a year is Logan Ryan. $10 million a year is Eric Kendricks. Having just one of those guys at $10 million a year, think about how much that increases your probability of winning a Super Bowl, because it does a lot. And Brady has a deep understanding of this, and a deep understanding about, okay, I'm taking a pay cut, but, at the end of the day, I got Dean, I got Barrett, I got Sue, I got Vita Vea, like, I got these guys in the trenches that can fuck shit up, and I got a defense that can hold it down, right? That's like, if you're Rodgers or Wilson and your concern is winning Lombardis for your legacy, you need to look at it other than, okay, how much am I getting? You need to have a different frame of mind, saying, except just saying, okay, where's a place that's going to pay me the highest? Because even if they have everything in place that year, that it might only be 1 year, and your window to win might have been there. And even if you're saying, for the $10 million you save, even if you pick up two $5 million players, that's Ed Oliver and Devin Bush. Aaron Rodgers, you're saying Green Bay wouldn't have a better chance at winning if, instead of you getting $35 million, you got $25 million and you had Ed Oliver and Devin Bush. You're saying you wouldn't have a better chance at winning? Get out of here. You would have a much better chance of winning with those two players. And Brady's greatness is directly tied to his to not taking more than he needs. And utilizing the discount that he gives a team to buy the right assets. And that's why he got pissed with New England. Because they didn't have the fucking assets to show for him taking the pay cut. And he did with Tampa, and it fucking worked. And all these other QBs fucking take note. You want to be a legend. You want Lombardis, not a Lombardi. Fucking take note. And that's all I'll have to say on that. So, also, since we've in the UFC in the UFC world, man, boy, did that Marquez guy, does he have he has worse closing game than Fernando Rodney, I think. Man, boy did he buggle that one up. He had that in the bag, and then just, what was he thinking with that following tweet, man? It's like, I could I'm not super attracted to Miley Cyrus, but I mean, I can understand if you are, but like, I think he is, but if you are, then why would why would that be your response after she's saying, "Hey, what's up?" Like, she's a huge star, and you're a fighter on, like, you could be like any fighter on a card, and she just so happens to notice you, and that's your response, bro. You have to have better closing game than that. That was unfortunate. But how about the Black Beast, hey? How about Derek Lewis, man? Like, and that was an incredible fight. That was an incredible performance. I was on Lewis, and I did not understand why the odds were the way they were. Lewis showed incredible development through his way, and just because the record wasn't what it said it was, I thought that was a very bad valuation of of what could have happened. I think people just blindly looked at the record, and I will say something about how that went for Lewis versus Blades. When Blades was going in for takedowns, and Lewis was cocking that uppercut and having that uppercut ready, this is what fighters are missing, or what strikers and boxers are missing from their game when they step inside the octagon, okay? They are missing that takedown defense. You think Lewis was punishing him for coming down in there. He was punishing him, and that is what you have to do. You cannot let them take you down. And if they are going to take you down, you have to make sure you have some sort of knee, some sort of uppercut, some sort of counter, so that when they're going down on you, they might take you down, but they're going to get hurt. And that's what a lot of fighters are missing in their game right now, is that pack of powerful, like uppercut or hook or knee, and you do two of those. When he came in for the knockout, he was coming in soft. He got tagged when he went in for a couple takedowns, and Lewis made him fucking pay. And when he was coming in soft, and Lewis was able to time it up just right, and he was out right then and there. Incredible performance by Black Beast there, by Lewis. That was that was textbook as a striker, how to mitigate the wrestling disadvantage that you have. That was textbook defense. So that was good. That was interesting to watch. So the fight so far, Usman crushing it. A lot of, not a lot of really great matches, but I think at the top of most divisions, it seems like it's a little more competitive instead of just one guy dominating, which is always great. It's great. It's better to watch that than when there's one guy who's just sitting there just crushing everybody. It's nice to have parity. It's nice to have be able to say styles make fights and have it kind of play out like that, instead of just watching somebody get dominated. Now, the other thing I wanted to go over for the sports report. This is going to be a shorter sports report, since there's not much sports to report. So there's the poker challenges that are happening lately. Negreanu just finished up his matchup versus Doug Polk, in which Negreanu lost, but that was expected. I did not have money on Negreanu or Polk. I didn't really bet it. I thought the value was kind of a little out of whack. I think you should have had greater odds for Negreanu, and I wasn't really willing to lay. That was a huge price to lay for Polk, when Negreanu could have pulled it off, actually. And I thought that Negreanu's style and the way he was playing later in the match, if he had done that all the way through, that it would have been to his benefit. But I thought he learned a lot through the course of the match, and started looking better. And then maybe if he wasn't in such a hole from like the first half, that he could have clawed back and made it a sort of Galfont-esque comeback. But now, so I think like Negreanu carrying this over to the next match will definitely help him. So after Negreanu lost, I guess Hellmuth probably had money on him and was chirping Negreanu a little, and Negreanu took exception to that, and now I guess there's going to be a Negreanu versus Hellmuth heads up X amount of hands kind of tournament challenge happening. And doing a quick preview of it, they're saying Negreanu would be minus 250 and Hellmuth plus 170. And what do I think on that? I think I'd be willing to lay with Negreanu if the price stays relatively the same or gets a little better. We'll see how the money comes in, and if there's some money hammering Hellmuth, which there very well could be. I think a lot of people see Hellmuth and having success in heads up field will find value in hammering Hellmuth. Maybe it could get down to plus 150 Hellmuth, and Negreanu get like plus 225, maybe closer to, minus 225, maybe closer to minus 200 range. And I think that would be a price I would be willing to lay to take Negreanu. I think what Negreanu learned from the Polk will really help him in this match versus Hellmuth. And good on Negreanu if he was willing to, if that was his plan in the end, was like he was willing to drag his name in the shit for because he knew Polk was like so much better, and then learn what he needed to learn from that match, and then start implementing GTO and other strategies similarly to Polk in order to beat these other guys, like Hellmuth, Mattisau, Esfandiari, etc. If he's willing to do that, then that'd be interesting. I think Negreanu might be able to. I think versus Hellmuth he should be able to pull off, like if you're playing 20,000 hands versus Hellmuth, who's a little bit of a firecracker at the poker table. I would think that Negreanu, slow and steady, will win the race there versus Hellmuth, and so I'll be looking to bet that. It's interesting. Hopefully they find a way to be able to show the hole cards in these games, right? Like I think these matchups are interesting, but it's not like when you're watching like WSOP or something and the whole cards. I think it takes away a little bit of what we're used to, and we're used to being so privileged where we were able to see the whole cards. But I think it would be a lot more popular if that were the case. But regardless, I mean, having these super long matchups, I don't think it really makes for good TV, like over the internet. Like it's okay. I think don't get me wrong, I think it's a true test of who's the better heads up player. I think that's like a good way to measure it, is playing 5,000, 10,000 hands, because it just the more hands you play and commit to, like the less likely a result is luck based. So that's it for now. That's it for the sports report. Like I said, not much going on right now in the sports world for me to be able to report on. So that's it. And the regular episodes of TWA2K listeners and sports reports listeners, thank you for tuning in to episode number 2. And we'll see you all again next month. Take care.